So if you're chronically online like myself, you would know that Fousey has gone through yet another rebrand. And I've been watching this whole situation from a distance. If you don't know, Fousey has been streaming on Kick, where he has made yet again more questionable decisions with his life. But his main goal of live streaming on Kick is to show his creative process of creating his album, which just dropped last night. I'm making this last minute video because I am honestly just fascinated by this subject, okay? You know, like the special subject that every friend has? This one is mine. And today I'm going to cover everything on Fousey's debut album, G7, The Death of Fousey. But before we get any further, press subscribe, because for every subscriber we get, you actually sign a petition to stop more streamers and YouTubers jumping on the music scene. So please, for the love of God, subscribe. So if you're watching this video and you're wondering who Fousey is, I'm not here to give you the backstory on it. There is plenty of other videos out there online that talk about Fousey's ups and downs and all that other shit, okay? I'm just talking about the album. I'm going to be covering the good, the bad, the ugly, and you might be thinking to yourself, Warwick, what are you doing, man? Don't dunk on him. He's mentally ill. It's like, hey, I'm also mentally ill, so if anything, this is lateral violence. But let's start off with the positives, okay? I always love when people want to do a pivot. They want to do a rebrand. They want to try something new. I myself am going through that phase at the moment with this YouTube channel and my stand-up comedy career. And I find that really admirable right off the top, okay? Because you have people like Addison Rae, who I have listened to Diet Pepsi so much, okay? If you don't like that song, what is wrong with you? That is a banger of a song, and she just started off doing TikTok dances, okay? So I was genuinely interested when Fousey decided that he wanted to record a rap album, because as we know through his previous meltdowns, he has harped on about how much he loves rap, and most importantly, how much he loves Drake. And what I really do admire, genuinely admire about Fousey going through this new path of wanting to become a rapper is he is on the platform Kick, which normally just glamorizes gambling to young children, okay? That website is not a positive influence on the youth. But with Fousey doing this album, I'm like, hey, maybe there's hope for the kids. Maybe Fousey will actually inspire a whole generation of kids to close Steak.com and open Ableton. So I do find his approach on becoming a rapper a net positive, okay? As cringe as Fousey's talking points has been on his live streams, I think we can all appreciate that he's trying, okay? He's trying to inspire kids to be like, hey, there is more to life than just gambling online. But I definitely feel like it's the right message and the wrong approach. It also helps that he has been online for a long time. If you are understanding of influencer culture and the online landscape, you would know who Fousey is one way or another. So this could actually play out really well for him. You know, he could actually become a rapper, and a successful one at that. But I do want to talk about his rebrand, because I work in advertising. I direct ads for a living. I have seen advertisement campaigns in and out, and this has probably been one of the worst rebrands I've ever seen in my life. First of all, he changed his name from Fuzy to Crash Out YSE. He changed his YouTube channel, which has 10 million subscribers. 10 million subscribers, and he has solidified himself as Fousey online, and he has changed it to Crash Out YSE. Now, right off the bat, he's using crash out, okay? It's a term that in 6 months, everyone's going to forget about, and they're all going to be spamming Unk in his chat because he's using the term crash out in his name. And I get what he's trying to do. You know, I changed my Instagram handle when I wanted to explore more comedy things, but hey, I only have a couple of thousand followers, okay? We are not one and the same here. I feel like what he's done now with his rebrand of his YouTube channel is people are going to see that in a subscriber box, or that it's going to pop up, and they're going to have no idea what it is. And if they are, you know, following Fousey and it's in their sub box, they're going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, he sold his channel out to somebody else. You know, they're not going to think, oh, this is Fousey's rebrand, okay? He didn't really do a good job of trying to show the rebrand as much as he could have. He did one live stream and one music video talking about the death of Fousey and why he has a new name now, but he could have ran that for a lot longer. He could have done a better job. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, Fousey, you have a lot of money in the world. Get some marketing and PR people in your corner. Okay, so the elephant in the room here is his love for Drake and how much he glazes Drake. You know, he sees Drake as a glazed donut. That's how much he loves Drake. And that's fine, I guess. Like, I'm in Canada. I get the love for Drake. I actually don't get the love for Drake. I don't really like the guy at all, but that's beside the point. You can't sit here and deny that Drake has had a massive career and he has a massive influence on a lot of people around the world. But the problem that I see with Fousey's love for Drake is that he is just trying to become another Drake. You can hear it in the production, you can hear it in the raps. He is just trying to become Drake. Now, as a creative, I think that's a problem because as a creative person, you want to kind of create your own path, right? Make your own voice heard. You don't want to become a cookie cutter, carbon copy of all the other creators and rappers out there. You just want to do your own thing. And there's a huge difference between influence and just copying. And I think he is just trying to copy Drake. Part of his marketing campaign for this album is he dropped a diss track that's not on the actual record itself called BBL Rage. And he also had another song called I Got Dick. Yeah, you heard that right. That's a name of an actual song that he released to the world. And in both of these songs, he is creating diss tracks towards other streamers. Now, in the rap world, we love diss tracks, right? Gobble them all up. You remember summer of 2024? Drake and Kendrick? Yeah, that's what Fousey's trying to do with these records. The problem is, though, he's creating diss tracks to streamers. People that are not rappers at all. It also doesn't help that this dude is 34 years old. This man is a year older than me, and he's creating diss tracks to people in their early 20s, and they aren't even in the realm of rapping whatsoever. I don't think it's a smart move to create diss tracks towards streamers because they can't respond in your art form, okay? I don't think that's fair for rap and for rap piece for that matter. Also, it's really interesting that he loves Drake so much, but he keeps repeating he a fan, he a fan, he a fan line from Kendrick's diss against Drake, and he's using that line to diss other streamers. It's like, bro, what battle are you playing here, okay? Are you playing both sides so you always come out on top?
The reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
Now that is a 4D chess move. If Fousey's actually doing that, that's smart. Okay, I'll give him that. I'll give him that if he's actually playing that card. So Fousey's been working on this album for a year, and I was expecting a lot when it came to this album. I was expecting like a 23-track deluxe version, or he was just going to kind of keep dropping again and again, and he might do that. I don't know. The album literally just came out last night. But this album only has 9 songs, and it goes for 16.5 minutes. That's like a glorified EP with a couple of bonus tracks. I don't think you can really consider that an album, if I'm being completely honest here. Which is a little bit disappointing because honestly, I have been watching this whole thing from a distance happen, and I was actually expecting something a lot bigger than that. Something that has a lot more tracks to it, maybe some more feature artists that we don't know about. That wasn't the case at all. But then again, hey, it's early days. He might drop something else by the time I release this video. I don't know. This man is really unpredictable. And honestly, after listening to this album, my conclusion is this album is what people think rap albums are. Okay, so let me put this into perspective for all the long-term rap fans, people that have been listening to rap since they were a kid. You remember that feeling, right? When you were like, 10 years old, maybe you grew up in like a conservative household and you weren't really allowed to listen to rap music, but then your friend slips you like a DMX record. I'm definitely not talking about my childhood whatsoever. But I remember listening to rap when I was a kid and I thought to myself, damn, all these guys are like, this is my name. I have money. I have women. That's all I took away from it because, I was a child and I lacked any kind of cultural knowledge and depth about, gang violence and growing up in like Section 8 housing. I had none of that. So my takeaway was very much the glamorized version of rap. And this album, that's what that album is. And another thing I kind of want to insert here about the lyrics that he talks about, it makes me feel like he genuinely doesn't want to be a rapper and he cares more about the optics of being a rapper. He doesn't respect the art form as much. I see it all the time in the stand-up comedy world. People see some clips online on TikTok and crowd work. They're like, yeah, I can do that. Oh, look at this. Matt Rife is selling out all these venues and getting all these women. I want to be like that. But then they jump into the comedy world and it's not like that at all. Each song, he keeps saying how his name is not Fuzy anymore and it's Crash Out YSE, and he again glamorizes the fact that he has all this money, all these women, these mansions, these Lambos, and the album really lacks depth. And I think this is kind of where we get into the mental health side of things. Now stick with me on this one, okay? Because I'm not a certified therapist whatsoever, but I do have experience in identity issues, which is what I definitely think Fousey has. He has been someone that has been really relevant online for so long that he doesn't really know who he is as a person. And I think that's why this album kind of lacks that type of depth, because he doesn't talk about the grander scheme of things. You know, I would have loved to hear more about what he actually felt like during his come up on YouTube. You know, was it actually as good as he said it was? Because there are times where he has openly spoken about everything online wasn't as it seemed. But he spoke about none of that and just talked about how he's the best. He even called out like all these big rappers in like one of the last songs. He calls out J. Cole and he's like, Cole, I met you as a fan, but next time I meet you, it's gonna be as a rapper. This man is 34 years old. Sorry, dude, like that is just, I hate to say it, but that is just really cringe. And I feel bad for the production side of music because I don't know, the whole thing to me just seems like AI generated music because it just, again, had no depth between the production and the lyrics. I'm trying my best not to shit on this project because, to be honest, if he has another mental breakdown online, I don't want to be one of the causes of it, okay? So I'm trying to keep this as fairly critical as I can without being too mean. But honestly, I was severely disappointed by this album. I thought this album had a lot of potential, especially with someone of his influence. Someone of his influence, he would know people that know producers and ghostwriters and all these people that can help create something that is worthwhile putting out to the world. And this just felt like he was a kid in high school who just discovered how to use Ableton and then just got a whole bunch of packs online and just made some raps. Which is great if you want to start being a rapper, but the problem is though, he thinks that this album is going to make him the next Drake. He thinks this album is what's going to make him #1 on the Billboard charts, but not with these streaming numbers. He only has 20,000 monthly listeners, and I think his top music video kind of maxed out at like 200,000 views, and it's like, that's great. Because, you know, again, you have the influence, okay? So you get a head start to a lot of people out there starting out in the rap world. But again, at the end of the day, I guess I'm just disappointed in the album itself. It could have been a lot better, and I really do hope that there is more music out there, and I really do hope that Fousey genuinely wants to keep creating rap music if he actually enjoys it. Honestly, it just feels like he cares more about the optics of being a rapper than actually being a rapper. So in conclusion, Fousey, look, you're trying, buddy, and I really hope you do keep trying. I hope that you surround yourself with people that want to elevate your music instead of surround yourself with yes people. It's been hard seeing some of the shit that you're posting online. Bro, you're 34 fucking years old, okay? Take a breath. Speak to an actual therapist. Speak to people who want to actually help you make some good in this world. And it's really hard to say that with the amount of times that he has lashed out online. But I really hope that he can turn this ship around and make something of himself, okay? Because I'm a huge believer in people that can rehabilitate their image. And he has a great opportunity to do this. I hope he keeps doing it. Thank you for watching this ramble. I know it probably wasn't as fun as you wanted it to be, but this is just something that I've been thinking about for a long time. Again, this is my special topic. This and 9/11 are my special topics, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will hopefully be a bit more lighthearted. Thank you. Goodbye.